Surprise, motherfucker. What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood Venger Satanis. And in this video, I just want to bring your attention to my latest blog post. I blog a number of things. I try to hit like twice a week, those kind of numbers, but it varies. But usually everything I post, I think, is newsworthy or worth reading, especially if you're interested in such things. This last one, the one I put up yesterday, it's called Chult Session Reports Roll20 Interlude. So I ran a short 90-minute virtual game for Chult on Roll20, and like just a couple days before, maybe it was the day before, our Crystals of Chaos live face-to-face like 4-hour game, because we play every other Saturday in the gaming room in my house. And these little games are a lot of fun, and I usually either learn something or something comes up and then that's carried forward later, or I get great feedback from players. Either they thank me like, oh man, you ran an awesome game, and like I said in the blog post, I play with a lot of noobs. I run games for a lot of new players. They're just completely new to role-playing games, or they're new to D&D, or they're new to the OSR, or they're new to Roll20. And, I do what I can to steer them around the curves and put on a great show and just run the best fucking game I can. But for whatever reason, at the beginning of the session, starting at the 10-minute mark, it just occurred to me that I guess I did something that maybe surprised me, or I thought was cool. Sounds, I don't know, conceited or egotistical. I know that my game mastering is good. But something, I don't know, it came about as like a teachable moment. And so I just quickly jotted it down. Like, oh, maybe I'll mention that later, or just keep it in mind for something else down the road. And then like 5 minutes later, something else happened. And I was like, oh, that's kind of on par with the other thing. I'll write that down too. And then by the end of the session, by the end of the 90 minutes, I had like 5 or 6 things written down. And I'm like, oh, this is substantial. And I could write a few things about this. So what I was planning to do is I was planning to write the main campaign session report, and then just touch on the salient points from the virtual session that was the day before. But I just started writing, and of the virtual one, that session report, it just came pouring out of me, which happens a lot, which is why I think I'm a pretty good writer, and I'm also pretty damn fast. And that's a good thing, when it just kind of like, you just start writing and it's like you can't stop. And then you look up and, I don't know, an hour's passed and you've got like, several paragraphs. And that's kind of what happened. So, I already put out Advanced Game Mastering Like a Fucking Boss several months ago. And I don't know if I'll ever put out a third game mastering book. It's possible. I don't have any plans to. But when an idea or a concept or just game mastering tips, techniques, whatever, come to mind and I write them down, I would like to share them with people because, that's what I do. That's my vocation. That's what I feel I'm called to do and what I was put on this earth to do. And just by naturally, I just love helping people. Not assholes and people that get in your face and just they're all dickish online or whatever. But most people are nice and accommodating and grateful and really cool in life. It doesn't matter if it's behind the screen or in front of your face. So I do like to, help people out and spread the wisdom that I have gleaned since I was like 10 years old. So that's, or 9. So it's like 38, 39 years worth of game mastering lore. It's just like stored up here. So I just wanted to tell people, because I think a lot of times people get the impression, especially when they see in the title of the blog post, session report, they think like, oh, this guy's just going to talk about what happened in the game and if anybody died and what kind of treasure was accumulated or like 1 or 2 interesting points. I sometimes read session reports myself, but not a lot. And occasionally, even I get bored reading them. If it's a campaign I'm not involved in, then it's like, I forget where that's from, but I'm quoting a character. It's like listening to other people's dreams. If it's not about me or people I know well, and nobody's having sex, then I don't care. I don't care. I don't care to hear about your dream if it has like nothing to do with me, or it doesn't have anything to do with sex. I think that was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Maybe Dennis. I don't know. Sounds like him. But this blog post, this session report is different because I mentioned a number of game mastering things that I don't think I've ever talked about or written about. Nothing earth-shattering, but just some interesting, cool points that maybe people haven't thought about. The chances are, if you read it, maybe it will elevate your game. Maybe it will get you thinking about game mastering and the process and what you do as opposed to what I do. I mean, obviously, whatever works for you works for you. But if in any way I can help you or, up your game, well, then onwards and upwards, right? So I'll put the link in the description below. If you haven't already, I would appreciate you read it, not only for your own benefit, but I would like to know that I actually am helping people out with this game mastering advice. I think I am. It's always difficult to see, how much of an impact in a vacuum without any feedback whatsoever. I'm not looking for validation. I just want to know that I'm not missing the mark and that what I'm putting out there does help people. I'm sure it does, but if I don't know about it, then I just have to assume that it's true, and I don't like to assume more than I absolutely have to, because sometimes assumptions are wrong. Anyway, that's enough. But yeah, check out the blog post. Tomorrow I'm going to get to the blog post about the Crystals of Chaos session, because we're up to 11. Woohoo! And then the day after that, or a day or two after that, I don't know if it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to put out another blog post that's very special, that has to do with not only game mastering, but it has to do with role-playing games and the Cult of Cthulhu. So look for that later in the week. I think you're going to be interested in that. Should be fun. I think that's it. So have a great week. It's Monday, I believe. And, I'm just hanging out. So if you want to, I would like you to comment about what I'm talking about in the video. But, feel free to hit me up anytime if you want to chat about role-playing games or other things that I'm interested in. Cthulhu mythos and Lovecraft, or the things that inspired like Chult, movies and TV shows and things like that. You know, you get my opinion or just shoot the breeze. You know, I'm always down. Speaking of which, I will, of course, be at VentureCon, so this is my convention, July 21st to the 23rd. So it's coming up next month, very, very soon. If you want to book a hotel, there's information to do that because you're going to get a discounted rate. But you got to do it by June 20th. So you got to do it just before a month out from the convention to get the discounted room rate. And there's details in the. I'll put that link in the description below too. I would love to see you there. I'll be there running games, talking about games, hanging out, probably playing a little bit, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Okay, that's enough for this video. Yeah, have a great week, and talk to you next time.